Welcome. In this video I'm going to describe the history plot. So the history plot is available in the plot type menu under summary. There's also other plots available here, and in order to make a history plot you have to pick either a parameter or a channel statistic. So I'll have a parameter selected named TAC. If I pick any of these underneath a channel, which these are all statistics for that channel, you can also do the plot. But note, you cannot do a history plot by selecting just the channel name. It has to be a statistic or parameter. So first, I'm going to make a plot of this TAC parameter. So what you see here is this parameter, the value of this TAC parameter over the last, in this case, 600 seconds. And so the data points are added to the right, current value, and then the older points are shifted off to the left. So some other things you can do with this plot is you can go to the setup menu. Obviously, if the axis scaling changes, as most of the plots do, and all the plots also have this max cursor. And I want to show what that looks like on this history plot. So I'll click max cursor, done. And what you see is it added this legend for and it shows the Y and X value for the maximum for that trace. And there's only one trace. And you can see the arrows pointing up. And that's because the maximum point is actually off of the plot that you can see, or the visible plot. If I go to the control tab, I can quickly shift that scaling on this y-axis to show all of the data points, and now you can see it's pointing directly to the maximum point for that. So I have simulated data, it's ramping up and down, and that's why you're seeing this up and down movement. Now another thing we can do with this plot that might be useful is I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to do it statistics for all channels. So what I want to pick, I'm going to go to all channels here and pick the peak-to-peak value for all channels, and then make the history plot. Now note I have 16 traces per plot, so it will put first 16 channels on this plot. And so that's what we're looking at now. So it attempts to color code the legend with the traces. In this case, we don't have enough colors to represent that. One other thing we can do in this kind of situation is we can also enable this max cursor, which will give us a much better idea in this kind of case where the data is simulated and some of it's exactly the same. As you can see, the X and Y values on most of these channels are precisely the same, and so the traces are laying on top of each other. But with this, you can clearly see the peak-to-peak value, the maximum peak-to-peak value for each of these traces, and it's indicated with the little cursor on each. So this can be useful if you're trying to maybe you're putting a test signal in and expecting to see the same value or several different values. You can get a good idea of what the amplitudes are for all of your channels. So that's the history plot.